Hello, this is the story about the time where my grandfather was almost murdered and I saved him, I thought. So when I was about 12 years old, I was deathly afraid of horror movies, like immediately compared them to real life and could see these circumstances in any movie immediately unraveling in my day-to-day activities. So my parents forbid me from watching them. It was really embarrassing. Even at sleepovers, I wasn't allowed to. I did sneak in the 1970s film When a Stranger Calls, which is about an intruder calling from inside a home and making threats to the people inside the house. About a week after watching that, I went with my grandfather on a Sunday to his office to get my backpack that I had left there. So no one else was there because it was Sunday, so I sat in reception at the front desk while he went back and looked for my backpack. A few minutes after not seeing him, I became uneasy, and the thoughts of When a Stranger Calls started to creep into my head. I called my dad to let him know I couldn't find my grandpa anywhere, but the phone lines had been cut. Or I thought they had. Really, I didn't know that you had to dial 9 before making an outgoing call from an office. So my fight or flight instinct immediately kicked in, and I knew that I had seen that film for this exact situation to save myself. So I ran to get help because obviously my grandfather was being held hostage. So I had on about 4-inch high-heeled sneakers. This is the face of a hero about to save her grandfather. And I kicked off my shoes and I ran outside and went building to building trying to find help to let them know the phone lines had been cut, my grandfather's life was in danger, but everywhere was closed because it was Sunday. So after running what felt like miles, it had actually been less than half a mile, I reached what I thought was a major highway, which actually just was a road. And on the other side, there was a field and a restaurant behind it, so I knew I could get help there. I reached the field, and it turned out it was a swamp. I fell in, got out, and entered the restaurant covered in mud and scrapes from head to toe. I told the woman my grandfather had been abducted and went to clean myself off in the bathroom while she called my grandmother. When I came out of the bathroom, my grandfather walked in with my grandmother unscathed, mostly because he had just been checking emails in the back office. And after that, I tried really hard to stop comparing my day-to-day life activities with any sort of film, but especially horror movies.